Okay, everybody. This is my first time trying to record something like this, so bear with me if I make a whole bunch of mistakes. Alright, so I wanted to go over the last test that you guys took. It was over angles and missing angles and triangles, classifying them, naming them, and solving for missing angles. So I'm going to go over every single question real quick, and I'm going to go over why I think some mistakes were made. Okay, so this first one, name an acute angle in the image to the right. So first off, there are two acute angles here. So this one right here, where this arrow is going, it's angle A, B, C. So it could be angle, write it like that, angle A, B, C. B is the vertex, so it needs to go in the center. Or you could write it the opposite way and write it as angle C, B, A. Angle C, B, A. So both of those are referring to this angle right here. This is the other acute angle. So you would name this one as angle C, B, D. C, B, D. B is the vertex. Or you go the opposite way and do angle D, B, C. So there was 4 possible answers for this angle right here. But if you put angle B, well, really angle B is like the whole thing. It would be a right angle. So that's why it couldn't just be angle B. It would have to be one of these because it's more specific. The second question that has to do with this image is angles ABC, which is this angle right here, and angles CBD are called, well, they're neighbors. Remember, they're next door to each other. They share a side. They are adjacent. Vertical angles are when they look like this. And let's say that this is 120 degrees here. Those two angles are vertical angles. These two here and then these two here. And remember, they're congruent to each other. Okay, so those are the common mistakes. So this one was adjacent. They're side by side. They share a side. Now the next little section was classifying the triangles by their angles. So here, remember we talked about inequalities. That symbol means less than. Less than 90 degrees. That means every single one of these angles is smaller than 90. If every one of them is smaller than 90, that means that they're acute angles. And in order to be an acute triangle, they all have to be acute. So the first one, it's an acute triangle because all 3 angles are acute. The second one, a few people did choose acute triangle, but I think it's because this angle is acute and this angle is acute. But because of this right here, that's a right angle. Since it's a right triangle. So it would have been C, right triangle. The last one, we have angles that are 25 degrees, 110 degrees, and 45 degrees. So yes, those 2 angles are acute, but this is kind of like the right. If there's one right, it's a right. If this is one obtuse, it's an obtuse triangle. So this angle is bigger, greater than 90 degrees. It's obtuse. Okay. The last little section on the bottom is classifying it by their sides. So this first one, it has those 2 little hash marks. Those 2 little marks mean that these 2 are the same length. So let's say that this is 5 meters, this would be 5 meters, but this one's different because it doesn't have that mark on the bottom. So since there's 2 sides that are the same and 2 angles that are the same, it's an isosceles triangle. Over here, the middle one, all the marks are different. That means all the sides are going to be different lengths. So this could be 10, this could be 12, and this could be, who knows, like 15. Just all 3 numbers are different. If all 3 sides are different, that means it's a scalene triangle. And then the last one, every single side is the same. Those marks mean they're equivalent. The angles are also the same. So it's an equilateral triangle. Okay. All right. The last little bit of your last test that you guys took. The top part, every single triangle has the same number of degrees. So in all 3 angles, if you add them up, it's supposed to equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so starting with this first triangle, we have triangle ABC. it does tell you the measure of angle BAC. So that middle, the middle letter is the vertex. So that means this angle is this one right here. So first thing, I would put 26 right here. Then it says the measure of angle ABC. ABC. So that's this angle right here. So I would label this 82 degrees. That means this is our unknown right here. So since we only have one missing angle, you add your two known angles together. So 26 plus 82, 108. And since we know that there's 180 degrees in a triangle, you're going to do 180 minus 108. Borrow 10 minus 8, 2, and 7, and then that would be 0. So 72 degrees. So angle C, or angle BAC, or angle ACB, is 72 degrees. And if we were to add all three of those up, each set of 3, all of them are supposed to equal to 180 degrees. Now, based on those 3 numbers, we have 26, we have 82, and we have 72. All of those are less than 90, so that means this would be an acute triangle. All right, now the middle one, the triangle below, is a right triangle. So automatically, this one is already our right, so you would label it as 90 degrees. And this is angle E, so that means over here, the one that has E in the center would be that right angle. So the first one has an E in the center, so this is your 90 degree angle. The other one is angle EDF, so angle D is 43 degrees. Now you have your two angles, and then this is the angle that we need to find. So you add the two to get the sum, 43 and 90. So this would be 3, 9 plus 4, 13, 133. So now you have your sum of your angles, but now you got to subtract it from 180. 133, borrow, 7, so 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. So the middle angle, or angle F, was 47 degrees. So all three of those, when you add all three up, it's supposed to equal to 180 degrees. Now just looking at those numbers, 90, 47, and 43, there's one 90 degree angle. That means this is a right triangle. Okay, and then this last question, this one was the one that more people struggled with. And especially if you didn't know that word congruent. If you weren't comfortable with that word congruent yet, then I could see why people would miss it. So in the triangle below, S is congruent to T. So that means S and T are the same. So angle S and this one right here. So those two are going to be the same number. So S is here, and look, they gave us T. If I know T is 45, that means S is 45. And that's not doing any math yet. That's just knowing and understanding the word congruent. Now we just have to solve for R. So you add your two 45s up. So 45 plus 45, 5, 5, 8, plus 1, 9. So that's 90 degrees when you get your sum. So then you take your 180 minus your 90, and then you would get 90 degrees. So now looking at the three numbers that you have 45, 45, and 90. You have one 90 degree angle, which means that this is a right triangle. And remember, all the angles in a triangle, all three will always add up to equal 180. All right, so I hope this clarified a little bit of some confusion. If you were confused on the last assessment, so take a look and see how you did on the last assessment. If you are not happy with your grade, try and retake the test. If you took any notes on this, use them for your new test. And if you do better on the new test, I'll replace your grade. Okay, because right now, all I have for you guys are the assignments that you guys did before the break. Okay? All right, so good luck and keep practicing, guys. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Bye.